Hello, art students! Today, we are going to be making some penguins. That's right, you heard me right. We're gonna make some penguins today. So we're gonna need our piece of paper here. We're gonna need a pencil with a good eraser on it. We're going to need a permanent marker. If you don't have a permanent marker, that's okay. You can just use your pencil and that will be fine. But if you do have a permanent marker, awesome. Okay. Today I'm going to be working with my permanent marker so that you can see my lines better. If you feel more comfortable working with a pencil because you can erase pencil marks, you can work with a pencil. You could work with a pencil first, and then you could overlap your lines with a permanent marker, kind of like in our previous projects that we've done. You decide. Okay, so I am going to begin drawing my penguin. Follow along with me, okay? To begin our penguin, we're going to start with a shape that looks like this. Okay, so it's kind of like an upside down U. Okay, and then we're going to close it off like this. Okay, after you're done doing that, we're going to draw a line. We're going to come down. We're going to create the head on our penguin. So we're going to separate our head from our chest region. So draw that line right there like that. Okay. And then after you draw that, we're going to make the eyes. Draw our penguin some eyes here. So we're going to draw one round circle right here. And we're going to draw another circle right beside it. Make sure that they touch. Do you see how my two eyes are touching? Okay. And now we're going to draw the polka dots in the middle of our eye. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw the beak of our penguin. Our penguin has a small beak and it starts right about here and goes right about there. A nice triangle shape. Then what I want you to do is I want you to shade. We're going to shade in this whole penguin head. Go ahead and use your black marker. If you have a black marker, you can start using your black marker. Shade in the head. Be careful when you go around the eyes. You don't want to get black marker in your eyes where you don't want it to be there. So be very careful. Do you see how I'm coloring inside the lines very carefully? Take your time, go slow. Okay, this is looking great. Don't forget that little spot in the middle there above your beak. There we go. Okay, and then after you're done shading in your head, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the wings. Give our penguin some wings. And penguins have long wings that reach down to the ground. There's one wing. Here's another wing over here. Looks like my marker is running dry, so I'm just gonna grab a new marker here. After you draw your shapes of your wings coming down to the ground, go ahead and shade those in, just like how we did to the head. Just the wings now. Don't shade in the chest. We want to keep that white, actually. There we go. Then we're going to draw our penguin's flippers, its feet. And this is quite easy. Simply two triangles. There's one right there, and then there's another one right next to it over here. And there you go. You have a penguin. All right. After you draw your penguin, you can draw as many penguins as you want, quite frankly, but I'm just going to do one. You can add more penguins later if you like. I'm going to draw what's called a horizon line now, and my horizon line is way back here in the background. And the horizon line will actually separate the land from the sky. Okay, so all of this down here is the land, and all of this up here is the sky. So I'm going to also, just for fun, I'm going to create a little pond here of water. And I'll draw some waves in my water. And it'll be ice chunky right here, like some ice. There we go. So if my penguin wants to jump in the water, he can jump in the water. All right, so we have a few things drawn out here. I'm going to go ahead with my permanent marker now. Just overlap those lines. Again, it's okay if you don't have a permanent marker. You can just use your pencil if you have a pencil, if that's what you want. I like a permanent marker though because it makes those lines appear a little bit darker. It just stands out a little nicer. Oh, and I have my background back here. My ice mountain hill. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna do the fun part. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to use black markers, and we're going to use cool color markers, okay? So first, really quick, we're going to do the cool markers. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna use some green, and we're gonna create the northern lights. That's right, northern lights, they're up in the sky. So they kind of go like this, where they have like this wavy pattern, like this. And then we're gonna add some blue in there a little bit. And your northern lights don't have to look just like mine, but I think these diagonal wavy lines is probably what we're gonna be going for. We can add some purple in there, maybe a little bit. We want it to be nice and colorful. Okay, like that. I'm gonna go over it one more time with my marker ink. Get lots of ink loaded up in there. Go. Okay, so after you've done your green, blue, and purple marker ink, then we're gonna use our black Crayola marker. Okay, so you have to use the black Crayola marker, okay? Don't use your permanent marker. Use your black Crayola markers. And we're gonna get close and try coloring in the night sky that surrounds the northern lights. Don't color over your northern lights. We're gonna carefully try to color around them using our black ink Crayola marker. Okay. You're doing a very good job so far, art students. Isn't this fun? This is awesome. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. And I think my water is gonna be blue, but I wanted to have some of the reflection qualities of my northern lights. So I'm gonna actually invite a little bit of some green in my water and some of the purple color in my water, because we already know that the water is usually blue, right? So this will kind of help make it look like there's a reflection on the water of these northern lights. And then I'm just gonna color the rest blue. Now you might notice that my coloring is kind of fast and quick. There's a reason for that. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Don't get too careless with your coloring though, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to invite a wet water brush. So grab a wet water brush, get it wet with water in your water cup. And then we're going to start in our night sky. Take your wet water brush, and I want you to kind of scrub only along the pathway of your northern lights. So I'm only going over my northern lights. I'm scrubbing it gently, just the northern lights. I'm not doing the black areas, okay? And I'm following the path of those northern lights. And I'm kind of allowing the colors to mix together a little bit, not too much, because I still like to see them individually as the color that they already were. But I also like how they start to blend together, where they meet and join together. So we're going right along our northern lights. There we go. Now, after you go through your whole strand of your northern lights, I want you to scrub out your brush, and then I want you to go back and carefully, very carefully, with a new cleaned out brush that's wet, I want you to start working, do the same method on the night sky. But don't just go over everything. Again, we want to be careful and just barely touch the northern lights. We don't want to lose the colorfulness of the northern lights. We still want them to be where they are, but we want to start softening the edges so that it looks like the colors are starting to run around a little bit more freely. See how that's working? And it's good to kind of rinse out your brush every now and then, just to kind of get it cleaned out and get it equally moistened again by the water. Ooh, I really like how my northern lights are turning out. They're so cool. Isn't this fun? Oh, it's so fun. Love it. Okay, so we got that done right there. All right. Now let's try out our water down here at the bottom. Again, cleaning out my brush. And you might notice that your northern lights are doing funny things where the colors are kind of reaching into each other, and I think that's so cool. That means it's working. Let it do its own thing, okay? Don't overwork it too much. I'm gonna try out the same kind of type of method down here with my water. Except this time I'm doing it backwards. This time I'm starting with the blue water, and then I'm going to do my highlight colors, which is the green and purple next. So I'm being very gentle how I'm painting. Notice how I'm painting very carefully along the lines, of the edges of the lines there. Be as careful as you can. Do the best you can. Take your time. All right, now let's do the highlights. So then we're gonna go back and we're going to go like this, and we're gonna just work that together. There we go, and it looks like we're getting some of the reflection from the northern lights up there now in our water. Cool. Now here's the cool part. So right along this edge, we're gonna only use water. See this? It will look like a lighter blue version of what we were already doing. That helps it look a little bit more like ice. Now that this is all wet down here, I want you to take a cleaned out wet brush, and I want you to kind of drag it around a little bit. And up here, I want you to create some areas that are just with your light blue amount that's in your brush. I want you to go ahead and start kind of making the snow have shadows. And the higher you get, the less shadow you can have, like that. Okay. After you do that, you can use your either yellow or an orange marker, and you can start doing your beak and your feet. And you can choose however you want, which ones are yellow or orange or both. I'll let you decide. I think I like my feet being orange. Maybe they're orange and yellow like mine. Kind of cool. And there you have a penguin in the winter with northern lights. Isn't it cool? All right. I hope you have fun today making yours. Bye-bye.